What's up, guys? Eric here with driverlineup.com. World's okay. Steering wheel holder as your host. Checking in with you from Love's in somewhere in Ohio with the world's okayest four-wheeler over here. We are 500 miles from Prime. It could not end soon enough. Yeah, I'm tired of trucking, man. I'm tired of trucking. Now, I said this in Discord. If you guys are not in our Discord, you should be. There's almost 400 drivers in there now. It's a free messaging app. Let me roll my window up so it's a free messaging app, and we've got it broken into categories and stuff like that. There's a lot of, like, I'm in there every day. There's a whole bunch of other YouTubers that are in there. There's just a lot of people. It's a great place to chat back and forth, but I had said it in there somewhere, and I think Panda or someone said, I'll never get tired of trucking. Well, I want to clarify that proclamation that I made in Discord. That's not like a generalization. I love trucking. I love what I do. I love driving a truck. I love making the kind of money that we're making out here. But in this particular week, I'm tired of trucking, man. I'm so over it. I think that it all went downhill from, appropriately, Tar Heel. Downhill from Tar Heel, North Carolina, where we were stuck there at the Port Plant Resort and Spa for 4 days with all that load madness, which, by the way, we found out the amount. So on that 4 days, the amount that we're being paid is $2,600, close to $2,600. It's a little over $2,500. So they did do us really, and that's our cut. That's not like, you know, that amount and then Prime gets its cut. That's our cut. So I feel like they really made us whole. But, you know, we've been out really for like close to 3 months with just a 3-day pit stop at the house to do laundry and get the APU service, dog food, stuff like that. And there's kind of this thing, I've talked about this before, there's kind of this thing, and I've had drivers agree with me before too, they go through the same thing. When you know that you're going for home time, psychologically, everything becomes taxing, you know? Like, there's this psychological thing that starts to happen to you, well, at least to me, out on the road, where when I'm like a week away from being home, you know, I really start to get, my fuse is shorter, my dislike for the job becomes reality. Only during that time, like I said, just 30,000 foot view, I still love it. I love trucking, I love what I do. But it just, there's this psychological thing that happens. But the double whammy in this instance, in this outing, is that the last week and a half have been so damn laborious. It's been like really hard trucking. I know some old schoolers are gonna be like, you're running in an ultra loft, you know, what are you talking about? You're like, it's not hard. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, I don't, whatever, you guys say what you're gonna say, but the truth is that mentally, this shit can really play with you, and physically it can play with you, and the loads that are just going sideways, like, just ever since Tar Heel, we've been waiting, and we've been, you know, not getting this load and that load getting messed up, and dropping hooks not working out, you know, just things turning into live loads. Like, it's just been a hardcore freaking week and a half. So having like the hardest week and a half in this 3 months happen in the week and a half as we're working our way home has been like, man, it's just been grueling to get through this. So yeah, right now I'm tired of trucking. Now, after being home for 10 days, 11 days, I'll be ready to truck again. I'll be ready to get out here and run and make some money. Right now, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Like, I just want to go home. So, yeah. So we are 500 miles from Springfield. We've been very lazy with this because we're just tired. Like Lyle talked about this once, about how as a team truck, your capacity for energy in your batteries, so to speak, gradually decreases. So you can only fill it up to that maximum. You go out on the road, your battery capacity is much larger. Week after week after week, that battery only fills up so much. So eventually you reach a point where you're just not getting, your energy's being depleted consistently and you're not getting it fully filled. And so we've had time. This load doesn't due in Tulsa until Wednesday, which is only this short hop from Springfield. So it wouldn't do us any good, wouldn't do the next driver any good to get it there early. Hang on just a second, Jenna's coming back. She'll be right back with me here in a second. Sorry about that. So anyway, it wouldn't do us any good to get it there early. So, like I was talking about not being able to fully charge your batteries as a team truck, we just haven't wanted to run it hard to get to Springfield. Like we got 500 miles, so now we're going to crush this 500 miles because now we're down to within one drive, but when we started out with 1,200 miles on this load, it was like, could we just run it in 2 shifts? Yeah, we could, but it would suck, and we just, quite frankly, just don't have the energy for that at this stage of this run. So
eating fast food.
Yeah, I mean, Jenna's even eating fast food, which she doesn't do. So it's just, we're just over it. But anyway, so that's the first part of it. And the second part of the title, so I got a comment on the video I did last night from someone calling me a rookie. Telling me I made my rookie mistake was to not have the tanks full of fuel when I went to pick up this heavy ass beer load.
It literally has nothing to do with the situation.
Well, and okay, but here's the point that I would like to make is, if it's a veteran thing to do and a smart thing to do to go to a place where you're going to get a heavy ass load to have full tanks, then I want to stay a rookie, because I think that's stupid. I have no interest in intentionally forcing the situation to be overweight so that we have to go back into a dock, have the load reworked. Someone told me that a few months ago too. Someone said, anytime you go to Tropicana or down in Florida, you go with your tanks full so they can't screw you. No, you do not. Like, maybe you do, we don't. We go in there with like quarter of a tank or third of a tank, whatever we can to make sure that we can get our load and get the hell out. Now, maybe call that rookie, whatever you want to do. I've only been driving for less than 3 years, whatever. I do not see the wisdom in intentionally setting it up so that your truck is overweight just so that you don't have to fuel multiple times on your way to your 90. My objective, especially with a beer load, is to get the hell out of that place unscathed. So if we would have gone in there with full tanks, we would have not been over gross, which their scale only shows gross. And when we got 25 miles down the road to actual cat scale, guess what would have happened? We would have been in an unfixable situation, and we'd have to go back 25 miles, wait hours on end to be reworked, And it would have just been a huge pain in the ass day. Whereas, okay, so we have to put 50 gallons in a tank 3 times to get home. So what? I would much rather do that than to have to go do the rework thing and go back to a beer plant. No, thank you. If that's the smart veteran way, then I guess I'm just never going to be a smart veteran, because that's not the way I roll. And it just, I responded back to the comment. It was like, oh, you're making rookie mistakes, or you should have gone in there with full tanks so that they couldn't put that much weight on you. I didn't realize that I had to learn to become a better driver by setting myself up to spend more time going back and forth at the shipper and being reworked and all that. I'm not going to set myself up for that. Hell no. My objective when we go to a shipper is to get the hell out of there with as little effort as possible. And I would say for a beer plant, that was probably our best experience. Mm-hmm. Now, we did have to semi-live load. I mean, it was still drop and hook. We dropped our trailer, and our trailer that was being loaded was still at the dock, but we were only there waiting for it for like 20 minutes. Now, it was a tight ass, like super tight of where we dropped the trailer. That was quite an animal. But generally, we have really bad luck at beer places. Really bad. Like, we won't take Budweiser just because it's just those loads are just a freaking nightmare. And so generally, we have really bad experiences with beer loads. This was the best case scenario. Is it heavy as hell? Yeah, it's heavy as hell. It's got 900 pounds to spare on the gross, but there's not enough room on the drives for me to be able to fill the tanks. So what? I didn't have to go back there. I didn't have to waste hours on end of my day. So I'm not sure why you know who you are who left that comment. I'm not sure why you think that that I did something stupid, because we left and didn't have to go back. So I kind of, in my opinion, feel that it would be stupid to make it so that I had to go back and be reworked and spend half the day at a beer plant. So anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think, because I have heard, that's not the first time I've heard someone say that they make sure to fill their tanks when they go somewhere where they know the load's going to be heavy. That doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe there's some logic. Maybe you have your reasons for doing it. Maybe it works out for you. To me, the most aggravating thing possible would be to have to be reworked. It just messes everything up for you. And if you go in there with full tanks, that's what's going to happen to you. So again, maybe there's good reasons for it. I don't see any logic in it. Anyway, Jenna's done with her drive. Got like 510 miles or something left, so we're gonna go rock this out. We'll be in Springfield tonight. It's Monday. She's gonna eat, so I'm gonna finish this up. You guys be safe, make good decisions, and as always, drive to thrive. We'll talk to you soon.